What's going on, you beautiful fur balls? We got to talk about Beamable. This is one of those ones that reminds me of Aether. It is a DePIN project with an annual recurring revenue. Very excited for this one. So I got to talk to you about the checker nodes that are dropping right now for a limited time. Now, if you were in my Discord, you would have saw when there was a short little private sale like a month ago or so. They are opening it up again just for about 5 days here to allow select communities to buy some of these checker nodes before we go live next month. TGE and the nodes are going to be up and running. Now, the reason I'm absolutely excited and thrilled about Beamable is because with Aether and the DePIN and the annual recurring revenue with them, I have been making good returns, good gains on the Aether checker nodes on the Aether Edge devices. Now, Beamable, what are they? What do they do? They are DePIN network, okay? They're powering real games. And we're talking 95 plus live games. FIFA Rivals is a one that you would definitely know right off the top of your head. We're talking about this many cumulative API calls, okay? That's 11 billion monthly API calls per month, okay? 6,200 developer signups, and like I said, 95 number of live games on the Beamable network supplying those API calls. And this is generating a minimum of $3 million annual recurring revenue, with some estimates putting it around 7.9 million for annual recurring revenue for this company. Many of these games are on Solana, Unity, Unreal Engine, Sui, Polygon, Mythical, Apechain, as well as just mobile in general. So first off, for the private checker node sale, this is a private sale. So you must have a code when you're purchasing those. Of course, my code is Doctor as always. And if you're using that code, I will absolutely do my best to try to run a giveaway of some sort. If I can't get a node out to folks, then I will try to do some USDC or something. You guys know I'm all about that for our community here because you guys are absolute best. And I love giving away something. I can't promise at this time. I'm usually always telling you exactly how many because I don't know yet if I'm able to swing that with the team. But like I said, at the very least, I will do some USDC to some of the wallets using that. Now, they have it discounted right now. So instead of $450, which is what it'll be at private sale, it is $400. And not just that, but if you're buying in this private sale, you're going to get 2,500 Beamable token airdrop to you at TGE. Now, before you go and sell that token, okay, you can do that. That 2,500 Beamable is the exact amount you need to stake on the nodes if you want to get 10% of the revenue. Okay, yeah, you heard that right. Yearly, they're going to be basically buying back Beamable, okay, with USDC and supplying that as rewards from a revenue perspective. Okay, that's different than just generating the tokens, which we're going to talk about exactly what this looks like and how it is functioning on, mining the Beamable while earning the Beamable as you're running your checker nodes. But again, this is in addition to, if you want to be eligible for that revenue share, you're gonna stake 2,500 Beamable for each node. And of course, if you want to go crazy here and you want to hit some large amounts of nodes, you can actually get the price down a little bit more. I do personally have 20 of these nodes was my decision on where I wanted to go. And I feel very confident about this, like I did with, some of these other annual recurring revenue nodes. So before we do the calculator, I'm going to put this at the end. So if you do want to jump to, in the chapter there, this is a calculator that Beamable has supplied. So again, these are always my personal opinions. It's crypto, guys. You know the risk here. So you got to do your own research, make your own decisions. But they have a calculator here that will go into with estimated fully diluted valuations and stuff. That is very, very interesting in the aspect of what some of these break evens look like. So let's talk about the tokenomics because everybody loves the tokenomics, okay? So right here, 40% is going to be our community nodes incentives, okay? We know that for the checker nodes, an entire 20%, okay? So 20%, not 20% of the 40, but 20% will be going to checker nodes in the first 12 months. So be careful, I will say, on how much you are unloading in that first year, because after the first year, the Beamable every day is going to go down significantly, right? A lot less than, the 20%. And My point being, when that happens and you see basically, a Bitcoin halving more or less, I think the price could get pretty crazy later on. So I think there will be a balance on, what you're selling and what you're holding for this. Another thing I love, 1 million Beamable. That's a max supply. So even if they have a fully diluted value, of like 100 million or 200 million FDV right away, there's only going to be probably 200 million Beamable out there right away with the liquidity unlocks and stuff. It's going to take a long time to get to that 1 billion, but only 1 billion. I always love that because your token's always worth more like 50 cents, 25 cents. Always makes me, it just makes me happy. Okay. I love the 1 billion number here. And so let's go ahead and check over here. Nope. I want to talk about the amount you're going to be getting daily, which is on the node calculator, or monthly, is 333 Beamable tokens monthly. Okay. Now, again, you're getting 2,500 dropped up front. So if you check this box over here that you are part of the private sale participant, meaning you are getting some of that earnings right away. And of course, if you change this to, you bought however many nodes at 400, you can see even when you're clicking bear case with a low FDV of 102 million in a bear market, because you're getting in the private node sale with that airdrop, we're talking about maybe a break even in 4.3 months. And that's if you're just unloading everything the entire time. Of course, if we're like, continuing to cruise along kind of where they're at and how well they're doing, we're talking about a 5-year earning of around 1,700 is a possibility. If they continue to see strong growth, which again, once they have this network live and they're obviously able to offer games a lower cost, we're going to be seeing a stronger growth, even a bull growth. It would be crazy if there was a hyper growth. But again, you can play around with this and kind of get an idea of, hey, what can I be seeing, especially with that revenue return. If you are, again, staking that Beamable, on each of your nodes, which I will for sure be doing right away. I will not be selling that. I mean, we're talking about 10% revenue continuous. So those are definitely the exciting aspects here. Couple things for the checker node licenses we got to cover. You have to KYC. You can be USA. Okay. I've already done it. I've done the checker node KYC. Everything is super easy to do, very simple. You do have to KYC, just keep that in mind. It is on Solana, so you're gonna have to have the USDC on Solana for these purchases, as well as when the node NFTs get dropped to you, it'll be on the Solana network as well. For running these checker nodes, we're talking very, very simple, low spec options here. Look at this. CPU, RAM, storage. This is very, very low, very, very simple. And this is true. And the reason it's this low is because these are checker nodes, okay? They're literally pinging the like heavy workload ones, the gaming workloads, and saying, hey, are you live? Are you functioning? And are you able to complete the workloads that are being given to you? That's how simple this is. That's why it's able to be so low on the amount. Again, your uptime target is 95% plus. And of course, there'll be a bunch of hosting partners. When we get to that point, there will be self-delegation opportunity as well. I will definitely try to drop a video as soon as possible when we are live to tell you the easiest way and the best way to get those nodes up and running. These will be actual nodes we are running as we kind of move forward. Of course, you should definitely be following them on Twitter so that you can keep track of what's going on. This is the very short explanation of what I have been talking about right now, which is 20% of that token beam supply reserved for token distributors. We're talking about in the first 12 months, that revenue share earned 10% of the network revenue with that staked BNB. And then your token bonus of getting 2,500 BNB per NFT. And you can see the absolute demand for this is incredible. They kind of go over this as well in the market summary here. So if you go to the market, you can really see, we already know this, games, 3.3 billion gamers, okay? Your grandma plays, your mother plays, okay? Everybody's on their phone playing some kind of game. And year over year, the amount of Steam games that are out there, just meaning live service games, which is like 95% of them, right? Or live service games, they need these API calls. They need these pings. So again, they are set up in a market, even if they have the tiniest little sliver here, they're going to do extremely well. So that's why I'm super excited about Beamable here. If you look at Grojo and some of these sites, just looking at the estimated revenue valuation of them, they're estimating that they are actually at an annual recurring revenue right now of about 7.9 million per year with about 45 employees. So very exciting stuff. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I got my nodes. I've been asking them, and they're like, "Yep. November, we're on target. We're going to get our TGE dropped. We're going to get the nodes running, and then moving a lot of these workloads to there." So looking forward to here. Again, if you want to check, I chose Storage, which is 102 million, FDV, which is totally appropriate. Aether's up to 2 billion, which is insane to me. Which if Beamable exploded to something like that, even in a bear case, I mean, absolute returns could be absolutely astronomical. But yeah, I'd like to always go very, very, very conservative. So even if I'm very, very, very conservative, I'm still feeling very, very good about this. I love the annual recurring revenue ones. I love the ones that want to do some revenue share, such as like Warp Gaming as well. So very exciting times here in crypto. Don't fade it. I think fading any of these, projects, you got to just really, really dig in, decide what you think about each project, the teams behind them, if you think they're successful, if they got the backing. They had like a $13.5 million like seed round for some of the funding as well. So I think Beamable is on track to absolutely explode year over year and just continue with strong growth. So let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Let me know if you're going to jump in with me and run in some of these nodes. As always, stay warm, Wookiees.